The Sejong Daewang-class, also known as the Sejong the Great class or the KDX III class, is one of the most important naval assets in the Asia-Pacific region. The Republic of Korea Navy, shortly ROKN, which already has 3 vessels in this class, launched the 4th one in July 2022. The 5th and 6th vessels are on the way. As the weapon detective, we are now investigating the Sejong Daewang-class, the South Korean Aegis destroyer. The Sejong Daewang-class destroyers are the largest and most combat-capable surface combatants of the ROKN. They are even superior to their Chinese and Japanese counterparts in these areas. Analyzing this warship can give us many clues about South Korean national security concerns and the regional military balance. Until commissioning the Fletcher-class destroyers in the 1960s, the ROKN was a coastal naval force. By the late 1970s, the South Korean industrial capabilities and economy boomed, and keeping the sea lines open became more crucial for Seoul. Thus, the president of South Korea, Park Chung-hee, introduced an 8-year plan to establish a self-contained national defense force, under which the domestic naval shipbuilding program also began. The first examples of this ambitious aim were the Pohang-class corvette and Ulsan-class frigate. With confidence based on these successful projects, South Korea began to work on destroyer-sized surface combatants in the early 1990s under the KDX program. The first step of this program was the Kwangeto Daewang-class, also known as the KDX-1 class vessels. Due to the crisis around Tokdo in 1997, Seoul decided to increase ROKN's blue water capability, but economic problems slowed the momentum. Still, South Korea managed to commission the Chunmugum Yi-sun-shin class destroyers, also known as KDX-2 class, in the early 2000s. But South Korea needed Aegis destroyers, and the Sejong Daewang-class was designed to fulfill this requirement. The first ship of this class, ROKS Sejong Daewang, was laid down on May 20, 2006, launched on May 25, 2007, and commissioned on December 22, 2008. The second and third destroyers, ROKS Yilgok Iham and ROKS Soae Yuson Leon, were commissioned in 2010 and 2012, respectively. These 3 vessels are defined as Batch 1. On October 10, 2019, South Korea ordered 3 additional Sejong Daewang-class destroyers as Batch 2, which will be 4 meters longer and 600 tons heavier than the previous ships. The first vessel, ROKS Cheonchu Daewang, was laid down on October 5, 2021 and launched on July 28, 2022. She will be commissioned in 2024. The Batch 2 Sejong Daewang-class destroyers will have 2 electric propulsion systems in addition to the existing 4 gas turbine engines, which provide fuel efficiency and reduce noise. The hull design of the Sejong Daewang-class is based on the US Flight 2A Arleigh Burke class destroyers, but it is enlarged by about 10% to accommodate more missiles. The South Korean destroyer has 32 more vertical launching system cells than its Japanese and US counterparts. It even carries more missiles than the heavier Chinese Type 055 class destroyer. So, many experts define the Sejong Daewang-class as cruisers. Indeed, it is bigger and more combat capable than the US Ticonderoga class. Another difference between the hull design of Sejong Daewang-class and Flight 2A Arleigh Burke class is their waterline shape. Yet the Korean news channel YTN claimed in 2014 that the noise level of the Sejong Daewang-class exceeds the standard. Some naval engineers assert that changing the waterline shape has caused this problem. The complement of the Sejong Daewang-class is about 300 persons. The ship has a length of 165.9 meters, a beam of 21.4 meters, and a draught of 6.25 meters. Its standard displacement is 7,650 tons, and its fully loaded displacement is about 10,000 tons. The combined gas and gas configuration propulsion system consists of 4 25,000 horsepower General Electric LM2500 gas turbines. The top speed of the Sejong Daewang-class is 30 knots. The range is nearly 10,200 kilometers, in other words 5,500 nautical miles. The Sejong Daewang-class has the Aegis Combat System Baseline 7 Phase 1, whose features include an SPY-1DV radar upgrade, cooperative engagement capability, and tactical ballistic missile defense capability and advanced computer architecture. So, one destroyer can direct the weapon systems of the other, which could not detect a threat, to the target. Thanks to its Aegis system, the Sejong Daewang-class can track and monitor missiles launched anywhere in North Korea. In 2009, the destroyer demonstrated this capability by tracking a North Korean missile. Currently, the ROKN is considering installing Aegis Baseline 9 on the vessels. If this plan is executed, the Sejong Daewang-class would have the capability of intercepting hypersonic missiles. The destroyer has 16 sea-skimming capable SSM-700K Haeseong anti-ship missiles with a range of over 180 kilometers and a speed of Mach 0.95. The locally developed SSM-700K has a 250 kg warhead. The Sejong Daewang-class has an 80-cell Mark 41 vertical launching system for the RIM-66 SM-2 Block 3B and RIM-156A SM-2 Block 4 air defense missiles. The Block 3B SM-2 with over 160 km range and Mach 3.5 maximum speed is effective against anti-ship missiles and other conventional air targets such as aircraft and helicopters. It adds an infrared guidance mode to Block 3A to improve cruise missile intercepting capabilities. The Block 4 variant with anti-ballistic missile interception capability can reach a distance of 370 kilometers. The ROKN is also considering acquiring the RIM-161 SM-3 and RIM-174 SM-6 for the Sejong Daewang-class destroyers. As mentioned before, the Batch 1 ships have the Aegis Baseline 7, so they cannot perform integrated air and missile defense to supplement US Army ground-based THAAD missiles on the peninsula. Therefore, even if they are equipped with the SM-3, they cannot use these missiles at full performance. Thanks to their Aegis Baseline 9, the Batch 2 destroyers will have the integrated air and missile defense and SM-3 firing capability. The Sejong Daewang-class has a 48-cell KVLS vertical launching system for the Hyunmoo anti-submarine warfare and the Hyunmoo III land attack cruise missiles. The Hyunmoo, also known as K-ASROC Red Shark, is a torpedo-carrying missile with 19 km range. After reaching the threat zone, it leaves the passive-active sonar-homing K745 Cheong Sang Eo torpedo. The K745 Cheong Sang Eo has a range of 9 km and a speed of 45 knots. It is highly efficient in shallow waters. Also, the Sejong Daewang-class can launch the K745 Cheong Sang Eos from its triple torpedo tubes. The INS GPS TARCOM-guided Hyunmoo III land attack cruise missile has A, B, C, and D variants with 500, 1000, 1500, and 3000 km ranges, respectively. It can carry a 500 kg warhead. The missile has a speed of Mach 1.2. The missiles of the RIM-116 RAM close-in weapon system have passive radar homing capability and an infrared guidance system that enables it to intercept stealth targets. Their effective range is over 9 km and their maximum speed is over Mach 2. The 127mm 62 caliber Mark 45 Mod 4 naval gun has a stealthy turret design. Its rate of fire is 40 rounds per minute. The gun's maximum range is 37,000 meters. The Goalkeeper close-in weapon system combines a 30mm 7-barrel gun, search and tracking radars, an electro-optic tracker, and a laser rangefinder on one turret. It can track 30 targets simultaneously, and the fire control computer can engage 4 of them in order of priority. The Goalkeeper has a rate of fire of 4,200 rounds per minute and a maximum effective range of 3 kilometers. The Sejong Daewang-class has aviation facilities that allow the operation of 2 Super Lynx Mark 99s or MH-60 Romeos. When we talk about the Sejong Daewang-class, many of our viewers may naturally begin to compare these destroyers with their Chinese counterparts. Or they may try to anticipate if the Sejong Daewang-class can deal with North Korea's swarm naval or ground-based anti-ship missile attacks. Currently, many assume the only power struggle in the East Pacific is between China, Russia, North Korea axis, and the US-led allies, but it is not entirely true. As mentioned before, the tension around the Togda Islets between South Korea and Japan paved the way for the emergence of the Sejong Daewang-class. South Korea controls the Togda Islets, but it causes a sovereignty dispute with Japan. Therefore, these two countries have experienced some crises around the area. So, when we talk about the Sejong Daewang-class, we should also compare it with the Japanese Kongo, Atago, and Maya-class destroyers. However, we must admit that these surface combatants of the ROKN have participated in many RIMPAC exercises and trained for joint operations with the Japanese warships in alliance spirit. Also, South Korea immediately dispatched its Aegis destroyers to prepare for unforeseen circumstances whenever North Korea conducted a ballistic missile trial. So, even though the Sejong Daewang-class was initially designed against Japan, at least according to the official statements, it is now an essential part of the US-led alliance against the China, Russia, North Korea axis due to the disrupted power balance in the region. Besides, we should remember that South Korea has changed its defense policy since 2015. So, one of the primary missions of the Republic of Korea Armed Forces is to prevent a possible North Korean ballistic missile attack, and after that to carry out a quick retaliatory strike on North Korean officials as a part of its massive punishment and retaliation strategy. The Sejong Daewang-class, which can track and monitor missiles launched anywhere in North Korea, is a perfect platform for this job. The Sejong Daewang-class destroyers carry more missiles than their Chinese and Japanese counterparts. They have the same combat systems and fire control radars as the Kongo, Atago, and Maya classes have. But the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Forces destroyers can launch the RAM-161 SM-3 missiles. The Chinese ships have more stealthy designs. Also, according to the South Korean media, the Sejong Daewang-class has a high noise problem, while its Japanese and Chinese counterparts do not. Still, its US-made electronics and missiles are more capable than the Type 055s. Another interesting fact about the Sejong Daewang-class is its size, displacement, and combat capability. In general opinion, it is not a destroyer but a cruiser. Also, the vessels of the previous KDX I and KDX II programs are not destroyers but frigates in terms of size, displacement, and combat capability. So, after the fruit of this three-stage destroyer building program, the ROKN does not even have a single warship to be described as a destroyer by international standards. The Sejong Daewang-class vessels may not be able to change the balance in the region alone, but they can undoubtedly disturb it. It is an essential piece in the Asia-Pacific chessboard. These destroyers can save South Korea from the devastating effects of a possible North Korean ballistic missile attack. Indeed, the Sejong Daewang-class destroyers are among the most deterrent elements of the ROKN. Thanks for watching our video, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button to be notified of our new videos. Also, you can now click the join button to support our channel. And as always, we would greatly appreciate all of your likes, comments, and shares.